Alrighty, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Or good evening, depending on which side of the globe you're on. Welcome to a little Monday morning classroom session, a little study session to warm up, get started for the week. Although it's Tuesday for me, so it doesn't really make sense. Either way, need to get warmed up for the day. Lots of drawing and testing and things ahead. So today we're going to be doing pandas, something that, visually on quite a simple level, pandas look pretty easy. Hey, Cameron on YouTube, there's a lot of interesting colors. The fur is quite thick, but I thought today, instead of just trying to copy the reference, also just try and understand a little bit of the body structure. I don't understand panda anatomy, but hopefully from some of these photos I can figure out a little bit of the basic shapes that piece together panda. So you're welcome to join me, of course, as always. If you do want to come along, you're on YouTube, you want to join us on one of these canvases down below, which I see now my cursor is not working. I'm going to have to change my setup here. Then you can follow the description all the links in the description. Everything's there. You'll have to join the Magma Classroom Artspace first. And then from there, you can follow the link to the canvas. Hey, Andy. So just keep up with this one. Grab one of the other ones. Who we got here? Why is my cursor not working? Why, cursor? Why? Come here and just jump onto one of the other canvases if you don't mind, please. We have a whole lot here in sequence, so there's more than enough room for everybody. Now, if you are a Blaze user, you can use this entire canvas as reference. And to do that, you will need to copy the canvas link, go to View, Reference Image, show a reference window. I was drawing some red panda last night, and then replace with an existing image, which is our canvas link. And that'll let me now use those pandas as my reference image. So I just want to merge these down. So in case any of you want to copy and paste from here, make a selection, at least it's all on one layer, makes things a little easier for you. And I guess my cursor is not going to be visible for the first little while. I'll switch over setups in a little bit. Let's see, let's move this down. Cool. Okay, so I mean, you can approach this any way you want. If you want to just dive in and try and copy one of the references, go right ahead. I'm going to play around with just the shapes first. Oh, it's not moving. There we go. I just try and simplify some of these. Kind of go for a more stylized approach, I guess, by just looking for the big and important shapes and simplifying that down. Whoa, nice one, Andy, on this nice 42-inch display. Good. Well, I don't know. Some of these references might come out a little pixelated on such a big display. It's just only a full HD canvas. Hey, Winter, cool. We'll see you later then. So again, just if you are joining on YouTube, feel free to come along, join us on the canvas, or on one of the canvases, I should say, and let's get warmed up. I'm going to grab just a sketchy kind of brush. Sketchy brush for a sketchy fella. I think I'm overloading my graphics card here with many things. Okay, it's all good. So I mean, something like this front-facing position of the panda is a pretty straightforward one, right? So if you were to really simplify, we've kind of got a big circle. Break it down a little bit. Big body. It's got these ears, which they're not just like circles on the side of the head, right? They've got some shape to them, which are a little tricky to read on the image. But if I just look at the silhouette, I'm going to switch this to grayscale just to help with things. we just look at the silhouette, so it comes out to the side here as well. It does this round. It's slightly like bent. There's a slight angle here. And the ears look like they're kind of turned away a little bit. So we've got that. Oh, thanks, Andy. Yeah, it took a little while to get that one somewhere. I gave him a really like small face with a quite a chunkier body. And this as well. There we go. And then, okay, if we kind of like lean back, squint a little bit, we look in the circle. The nose is almost in the center. Almost. A little lower. And it's kind of like this rounded triangle. Yeah, it was a bit wild there, Andy. It was a bit wild. Got pretty out of hand. Okay, then just off to the sides. Okay, well, actually, also this is probably going to be easier to help with like placing the eyes. Figuring out like which shapes to focus on first. We have this broad snout, and I'm looking at the sort of angles that are here. It's kind of like a straight shot. Comes forward, but it does sort of widen out as it comes onto the front. So we can almost make this like quite a wacky triangle of sorts. But this doesn't go too high up. If you're trying to look at the reference, look at the way the top of the eyes are in line with the bottom of the ears. So kind of keep that in mind as we go around. Taking a very slow approach here. Hey, Meg. I was going to say the whole basil Meg vinegar thing. I'm just saying, Meg. I haven't finished my first coffee yet this morning. Yeah, simple shape language definitely works here. And to make, instead of going with just round shapes, you can also try and break it down using quite like hard edge shapes. So this is a turn there. Turn there. Then the jaw is open. Now we got some teeths. Like sort of zoomed out, like looking at it, it can really just kind of be read as little triangles here. Or not triangles, more rectangular things. And then we have sort of circles of the eyes. These patches. Not anatomically correct, but hectic. Yeah. We also have this. It's like it comes forward a little bit. Fur comes outmost. Okay, that's fine. But I'm spending way too long on this now. This is like not a good approach for first thing in the morning. I'm gonna let it get loose, let my hand sort of flow, but let's move on to a different one. Let's try to get a full body. I'm keeping this in grayscale for now because I'm not worried about any details. What I am worried about is the temperature. Select zoom in. Get a little, just adjust my window a bit so I can see the full body. Like that. I haven't given myself enough room. I've put it all in the same layer. Stay organized. I can also just hide that other one now. Nice. Shoulder there. Down more or less to the same point here. Bend the legs down. Crank at the side here. Got a big belly. Look at those ears here. Establish some points that I can work with here. If you are just tuning in on the YouTubes, come along and draw some pandas with us. Then we have going just to the back of the shoulders. This, yeah, definitely nice graphical shapes here. Graphical, is that correct? Graphic, just graphical work. And what time of the morning does my English kick in? And where do the paws sit? If I draw this line. Okay. It's almost the same. You know, a lot of the time when you're trying to like copy these things, you're trying to draw lines between things and see and measure up those lines. So I draw a line from sort of top of the shoulder here to where the, oops, it's a little sensitive. From the top to where this little body is. It's almost like another, almost the same length. Yeah. But it's slightly forward. Yeah, I'll have another one. Now I've got. Thank you. And then here, this I actually think I haven't done this bit. Yeah. Let's bring this further back. It is time for another coffee. Okay, getting some down there. Side. Going back here. Actually, want to spend time drawing, painting this out. Let's go for a use of stroke. Otherwise, I think while watching, it's just going to look like some very thin lines while I do my little wake up sketching and thinking. Probably not all that interesting to watch. So let's jump into a little bit of paint. I'm gonna stick with this guy first because I really like the. I mean, as much as the red pandas initially look more interesting to paint, they're awesome colors. But even here, like I mentioned earlier, it's not like it's just white, gray, black. You know, there's browns in here. The fur gets dirty. There's even a bit of blue in there. It looks like a fun little expression, I suppose, with the leaves in here. So the way I've drawn it, it kind of looks like a quokka. Yeah, we'll get past that. We'll get past that. Might leave the color focus on shape. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Okay, so I'm going to start with the background of sorts. Get like a brown background. Let's find. We'll go with streaky brush. Go with a bit of a desaturated brown. Okay. Vary it up a little bit. It's a bit dark in the background if I'm copying my reference. The grays in there. This point is like, I like blocking in the background, but it's just a mess. You just kind of block down some loosely using shapes and colors that you see. There's maybe a bit of blue in that rock, or in the background things get a little bit more orange than I've got them. Yeah, a little bit of saturation. Okay, find the right. Yeah. But anyway, this is just filler, and that matters. So instead of going for just like all white, it's like the first thing we see there. I'm gonna go with maybe more of a blue. Oh, that's good. Flipping the canvas more since you got the keypad, and you got that shortcut right there. I'm gonna go with a bit of a gray that has a bit of blue in it. We have to get there. And I'm just trying to keep my eyes squint. Because now I do want to see a bit of the changing color. Yeah, when I was using the Deco Pro, I loved the wheel on that. And for adjusting brush size and rotation, it was just felt so much nicer. Okay, so now I need a bit of brown. Yeah. The interesting thing here is that there are like lighter hairs further in front, and it's a bit darker at the back. So I'm looking for that sort of darker bit first. and then I'll bring the lighter hairs in front afterwards. We used this. It's getting much darker, pretty much black. So it's easier to just rotate the canvas instead of rotating the angle of my brush. If you're on a touch device, you're wondering about how to flip your view easily, you can just, generally, it's just a double tap, but it depends what sort of device you're using, because the functions might behave differently if you're on something like a 17 Pro versus an iPad. Or H, yeah, if you're using a keyboard. Yeah, that's the default H. Okay, let's actually just fill in all of this so I get the shape down. And then I can add in this. Slightly lighter. Yeah. So even though I've gone for a almost black, it's not full black, so I still have a little bit of room if I see an area that like, that should be a little bit darker, then I still have room to do that. Thank you. But you know, if you dive to those, same with white, especially this, people do this a lot. Plot in white as their light area, and it doesn't leave you any sort of room to contrast. It really gets blown out very quickly. And I think it happens probably more if you're working on a white page. So I always recommend starting with like a gray background, like we've done pretty much all of our classroom sessions. I always plot a gray background. Because that way you can easily just bring in, from that midtone as your base, easily start to add in light and dark. Whereas if you're on a white canvas, your lightest light is already there. And it becomes difficult to bring that forward, make it stand out. Okay, now before I get this leaves in, I can't get to those leaves now. Maybe it's slightly lighter. Keep it rough, rough. It's not like an absolute rule, by the way. People who work from black forward, for example, you can start with extreme color, like extreme value. It's just a general thing. But it's nice in sketchbooks too. You have a sort of midtone pages in sketchbook and a white pastel. It's just, you can sketch normally with your pencil or with a marker or whatever, and then you just come in with a little bit of a white pencil. It just makes it pop a little bit in your sketchbook. So I'm digging into history there, working in a sketchbook. When else did I work in a sketchbook? Embarrassingly long time ago. Okay, what else? We've got a little bit of this kind of brown here. little bit of here, probably more yellow. Big, just using full opacity strokes here just to bring in all of this. The white will never get white enough. Yeah. This can be. Yeah. Hey, Mountain Pirate, welcome, welcome. Good, that function is working. I'm actually going to hide this bottom piece here, just to give myself a bit more room. Oh. Did my colors just shift? My colors definitely just shifted. Dark light, true tone. There we go. A little bit of an iPad color shift there. This a bit lighter than this. Grayer. Yeah, but like now I didn't start off with white, so I can come in now with a bit of a stronger value. It's a little difficult to start seeing the shapes here now because some of the changes are a bit more subtle. Such a slow painter. Jeez. Excuse me, man. I need to put the fan on. What you have to sit on is has some cushioning, a really warm blanket, and then a regular pillow behind you. None of your body heat can escape. You know, like those nice mesh ergonomic chairs. You can just feel, you can feel comfy there for days. This is not that. I'm gonna go a little bit darker in here, actually, underneath. I actually want to bring in more blues, darker blue. A little bit of that light here. Okay, sign and mouth. And you know, I'm going to merge these sketch lines are now getting a bit obstructing, so drop the opacity of those. We can start with this. Quite the shape. All looking very messy right now. It's a slow build up. Slow build up. Every piece goes through its ugly, messy phase, sometimes for a lot longer than you'd like it to. Like, yeah, I don't feel like I've made this round enough. See about this green. Trying my best not to color pick from the. I'll try my best. Very intentionally not color picking from the reference, which you can do, but I caution against it. I pretty much only use the color picker either on canvas to pick colors or to try and like figure out what is there, like what sort of range of colors are there that I can work with. What happens to the values? What happens to the hue positioning there? Just so I can get an idea of where things are at. That's kind of how I use the eyedropper tool now. Well, I have for a long time. Yeah, I was trying to find the green. I got distracted. A little bit more yellow. I'm going to start with the dark. And I'm going to do it on a separate layer. Because this makes sense. Yeah. Time like 35 minutes in. Cool. It's time to play with this. I always find green a difficult color to get right. Like what I'm seeing, trying to capture the right green. I don't know why, but I find it to be a particularly difficult color. Maybe it's just because I haven't looked at it much in a sort of analytical way. Maybe I've got to go into a green phase. You know, people on Twitter for a while, and I think probably happened on Instagram as well. People were doing like, show me your red art. And they'd be like predominantly red color palette. Or the type of red was the sort of anchor color that brought it all together. Show me your green art. This might be an occasion for that. But it's always kind of cool seeing what people do with one very dominant color. Let's shift this towards blue and shadows. Let's go dark. That wasn't enough. Play with a more monochromatic palette just for speed. Yeah. Well, it's easy to end up doing like too many colors, right? And then just get confused. I mean, that's what kind of slows me down. So I think going that monochromatic approach was just, you know, you kind of simplify things, make it a bit easier on yourself, for sure. So I like that. Looks like there was a good session there, Cybernaut. Thanks for hosting the chill weekend hangout. Those clouds that everyone did look amazing. Yeah, I think playing around with like variants of the same color, adding a bit of color jitter in perhaps, and then some intentional contrast. Clouding around. I tried to join, I was on a bus, and pretty much as the session started, I typed like, oh, I'm on the bus, I can't chat, but I'll try and draw. I lost signal, and I couldn't draw. Oh, next time. Although, trying on a bumpy bus ride, not exactly ideal. No, that's a bit too much. What I've done there. Let's get some billowing here. where we are. It's almost 3/4 of an hour in. If you are just joining on YouTube, you guys are welcome to come along and join us. We should still have some extra canvases. If I can open my canvas sequence here, I'll add a few extras on. But just check the stream description. There's a link. There's a link there for the art space and for the. Oh, I like those colors there, Meg. Very cool. Seeing the thumbnail. If you're on Twitch, just let me know because I'll have to tap those links up in the chat. Got me wrong. Yeah, I think for these studies it's a little better to keep everyone on one canvas, leave everyone with enough room. Well, now you can go bigger on the next one. What, next one? Wait, so much. Teeny bit lighter, yeah. Although now I put those leaves on a separate layer with the intention of being able to work them a bit better. But now, oh. Here. Yeah, let's get that. There we go. Okay, now I think I can just detailing the face. It's all very rough and blocked in. So in almost an hour, a lot of rough marks. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks like you can add something here. It's enough. It's time to start. Make some stuff in. Perhaps the next thing we should be doing, actually, shifting away from the photos, or really just using the photos of reference, but starting to kind of draw and paint our own thing, and just using or adding something at least to the photos, like adding a helmet to our panda, or making it hold instead of a bamboo shoot in its mouth, it's got some sort of bamboo inspired dagger. I don't know. A little more pirate-like panda, where the eye patch would not stand out as much, simply because panda. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I sometimes get to a point where I'm leaning too heavily on reference photos, and it becomes difficult to break away and do something that's out of your own pip. Always changing the original. Good stuff. It's good. It's good. Yeah, Vance does that really well as well. If there was a study theme that he joined, for a study session end up pushing it to another level, which is always cool to see. Like everyone can just approach this in their own way. If you're more a beginner, just stick with grayscale, try to copy the reference, get those values right. If you're more advanced, want to do something more creative, then push the idea, not just trying to capture the reference. Yeah, Sabinot, I know what you mean, man. With that experience all too well. I'm glad it's not just me. Okay, let's get in here. So make this a bit lighter. I still need to catch up on Vince's session from last week. I suppose there I can give myself a little challenge on trying to do a more character concept type of thing. Like a busy week ahead. Heading for colder, cooler climes on the weekend. Yeah, it's cool, Andy. You seem to come back to the things that you draw quite a lot. It's great. We're struggling to come back to things that I start off in these sessions. Let's get a bit richer in here with the eye. So making this one stand out is going to be more about getting the light on the eyelid. Keep that value dark. It's like unfinished art. Yeah. But I mean, geez, I can imagine if you put all your drawings into a sort of digital sketchbook, almost like what Nexus does, is compile those PDFs 1 month to the next. The sketches and paintings he's done. All your art is unfinished. When is a painting really ever done? Forever unfinished. So this is quite a bit lighter. For sure. I mean, especially if you're doing studies, then I think you kind of know what you're looking to get from it. But then I suppose there's something to be said as well for just like powering through and really trying to every now and then over render to see what happens. Get to make this stand out a bit. it time for a new track? I think so. Ba-ba-ba-da-bum. Go. That is a great idea, Mountain Pirate. Using Discord as a storage service. I like it. I've been seeing that kind of thing pop up quite recently in my various things. Hey, Manju over on YouTube, where people are storing like video files on their YouTube account, just storing it privately, but it's there. A little easier to access. It's quite interesting. Storage. Never have enough. Especially if you're recording, if you're doing time lapses and capturing that. Takes up so much space. Especially seeing as you never know if you are going to use it or not. It's good to have a habit of just putting the camera on. I blame Baldur's Gate for not having the space to just record everything whenever. Yeah, or your canvases. Yeah, and you can get really organized with it, right? Like with that sort of more forum approach. Grouping things together, creating folders. Yeah, now I'm just getting into trying to render this out a bit. Just spend some time here. Mind you, then again, Baldur's Gate is worth the storage. I agree. I agree. Gotta watch out for those save files, though. That's a big part of the storage problem. I deleted the saves from my first run through, and some like ones that I'd sort of started and not really got into. And I think it freed up like 15 gigs of space. It's bonkers. Jeez. I have like peripherals taking up my USB ports. I can't have my other peripherals, my tablets and microphone and phone as a webcam, and I still fit in an external hard drive. Come on. Ain't nobody got space for that. Now this is where things get interesting. Oh wait, let's just add these teeth in because it's starting to bug me that they're not there. La, la, la. Mine's pirate layer folders, not yet. It is on the roadmap. It is something we're working on. They are an essential thing that we want to add. We just haven't. There's been a number of other things first. But I'm very much looking forward to layer groups, folders. That's going to make a heck of a difference. Especially in the collaborative environment. So much easier to stay organized. Yeah, way better for the more serious user. Now I've cocked this up. Adjust this, make it back in. Grab that color. Yeah, but I mean, just the game. I mean, when you download it now, it's like 130 gigs or so, and they recently had a big update, and it pretty much took up that much space. That's right. I wasn't playing for so long because I just couldn't download that much. It would keep cutting out if I paused it. So I eventually just gave up. Okay, fine. But yeah, at least with Baldur's Gate, you can, if you've got multiple characters, multiple campaigns that you're doing, you can just group all the saves, so you can just clear out the entire one, the entire folder, select the folder, delete, and it'll ask you if you want to keep just the latest one. Delete all but the latest. Which is quite nifty. Quite nifty. I'm really hoping they'll add some new races and subclasses to Baldur's Gate. Eventually, I suppose that's where the longevity, one of the aspects of longevity for the game comes in, that they can do that, keep the game fresh. Now this is kind of like reddish brown along the edges. Or forms for the druid, yeah. I saw some people talking about the circular spores druid, and there not being really much unique interaction, or any unique interaction with the myconids. You go down into their colony in the Underdark, which I felt exactly the same about. It's like, come on, like, you're spores and mushrooms, this is your thing, man. Why is there no like unique interaction here? Okay. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Maybe we just need to spend a session doing spheres of different colored spheres with different color light hitting it. See what should happen. Because that confuses me as well, color of the lights. But then lots of things confuse me. Minimum brush width. Not specifically the width. I mean, we do have the minimum size, like the overall size, not specifically the width. We're working on a roundness setting. It's a little way out, but okay, but it's coming. So at least that roundness, if you've used it in Photoshop, being able to like flatten out a brush, that's coming. So yeah, mount pirate, being able to adjust minimum size. This is already possible for the brush. You just have to be in full mode. Absolutely, Cybernauts. I agree. So yeah, if you're in full mode, then there's a minimum size setting. Cool. Glad you got it now. But we are working on some more settings brushes. Or we're not. Big update on that planned. So you can look forward to it. When, the matter of when, it's this I cannot answer. Not because I'm not allowed to, just because it's difficult to say. And there's still so much testing to be done, lots of development to happen. And from the testing back to the developers, and the developers make their fixes, and then they send it back for testing, and the testing gets done, and then more stuff goes back. Yep. You know how it goes. More testers. Yep. It's not just that part though. Even if you have a big team of testers, he's still going to be like these back and forth phases. But yeah, I suppose at least you minimize the chance of new things being discovered later on that could have been dealt with sooner and added to the first round of fixes, right? I do agree that a core team of sort of community beta testers that know what's up, that would be valuable, I think. Maybe we should look at that. I mean, we do have the Pyros lab space, but it kind of gets used as a social space more than it should. How am I struggling with this? The eternal question: what is going on? Struggling with this part here. With the values close. This is good. This makes a difference. Okay, so that's what's to change. Stop. More. La 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 la. So just another little reminder, if you are just tuning in, sorry to those who have been here the whole time, just a little reminder for any new people watching, you can come along and draw with us. We've got plenty of canvases available. Just check the stream description, paint some pandas with us. Oops, wrong direction. No. Yeah, we also have this hair and fur brush, which is one of those things that's easy to get excessive with, but it's a nice way to transition on the edges. It's actually a bit excessive still. To be a bit lighter. So I've seen some people do that, try and do, it's the panda, for example, but they'll use the fur brush for the entire thing. Actually, this looks a bit chaotic. We're using grass, nice. We're using the grass as a sort of fur. Interesting. Patented Cyber Bristle Premium Brush. That's very cool that you posted your brush settings in the Discord server. Very nice, very nice. What do you guys think about the idea of being able to like share a brush that you're using with another user that you're on the canvas with? Like, hey, what settings are you using? And you can kind of go, hey, here you go, and sort of locally export them. I suppose just like on canvas sharing of the brush. Could be cool, huh? Could be cool. I hear that. I hear that, Cybernaut. Naming and saving presets. I like it. I like it. Default with jitter. Yeah, jitter's a fun thing to play with. Quite a few options there. Yeah, Mountain Pirate plays a lot with the color jitter. So even here we have added in some of this has gotten a bit excessive. I think. Let's dial down there. Text. That's an interesting one, Mountain Pirate. I want to check that out. I've seen where they've used almost like a. Is it with a brush or is it kind of a wax thing that I've seen this kind of happen? Oh, this, yeah. I'm having a look at it now. Once this YouTube ad stops. You showing me ads of ice cream? Oh, that's way longer than I expected. This thing's one brush. The One Stroke Dragon Guy is the channel that I found. What a name. How are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? It is time for Ryan to have a little stretch. Bathroom break. Okay. Back in it, Jeffrey. Yeah. The artist uniform back on. I'll draw it glove. Let's go back to my streaky brush. Now I want to soften out. Oh, that's good. Actually, this streaky brush, just dropping the opacity on that is enough to really transition a bit. The edges to look a bit furish. No, not the stabilizer. This isn't big enough. Definitely didn't do the nose right. So just how long it can take you sometimes to realize, wait a minute, that don't look right. That don't look right at all. Adding some scatter. Yeah. Oh, that's something I would want to, as you mentioned scatter, I want to play with the, I think he does a lot of his work more traditional, but Jason Shaw Alex, he's got a lot of like paint splatters and stuff on his work doing, I think the stuff that I've seen that I've really liked of his like Spawn. But yeah, it's, I like that sort of traditional feel. What I used to do with my pages and canvases, I'd make like a total mess on the canvas first, and then draw on top of that. It's kind of nice because you can kind of play around with the different textures, the way the paint's gathered, the weird colors. You're like, darn it, like that doesn't quite work there. So you've got to try and counterbalance it or push it back somehow. It's quite a fun process. So maybe I'll try that. Let's do another drawing. See what we can do with the time. There's quite a bit of experimentation going on here. I like it. I like it. I'll take a little gander at the other canvases. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, hey Nathan on YouTube. Not used to me streaming it for the Asia time zone. Yeah. It's going to be the case for another 3 months. Where when I do stream, it'll be in the morning. But probably in March and April, I'm going to be dialing down my streams. The other, ooh, nice, Andy. I like just keeping this color scheme. Woohoo! Awesome, Winter. Loving this approach with. Which brush is this with? This is also one of the sort of nice hard edge ones. I'm loving it. Wow, great job, Cyber. Dang. But those colors really down well, particularly along the this kind of like violet-y, I don't know what to call this color, sort of cool burgundy. It's very nice, very nice. Sharp vertical using, okay, cool. Oh, Meg, those colors, amazing. That light is so strong on along the top. Awesome. This is beautiful. Nice one, Mountain Pirate, coming with some spheres, trying out those different colors. This is great. It's great. Oh, nice sharp light in there too. Very nice. Very nice. Cool. Yeah, you guys are doing amazing work here. Shredhead asking on YouTube why I'm dialing down the streams. Yeah, sort of vacation. As it is the kind of late nights, early mornings are stacking up, but I've got some vacation time planned. And we want to like shift a little bit to more like more quality streams rather than just than quantity. So yeah, we're going to make a few changes just to make sure that we keep things good. But we'll still do maybe like themed hangouts. I mean, like study sessions like Cyber's been hosting and Discord, things like that. But it just won't be like live streamed, you know? Could do with a break. The streams, multiple streams every week gets a bit much. Cheers, Cyber. Happy munching. Clubhouse is your favorite? Yeah, Clubhouse is great. Those, those I think we're definitely gonna shift. We're planning one that's gonna have all the ambassadors together. Unfortunately, I won't be able to join it because of the time zone shift that I'm going into. But yeah, I think it's gonna be such a cool stream. All the ambassadors, Vance, Jonathan, Anya, Alejandro, it'll be a blast. It won't just be me on the microphone. Yeah, it'd be great to join. It'd be great to join the Nathan, but the time. Whew. It's tricky when trying to coordinate America, Europe, and Southeast Asia, Japan, or Australia, if the only ones there. But trying to get aligned with all those, it's going to be inconvenient for someone, I guess. It's no getting around it. Cheers, Mountain Pirate. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I think we'll kind of wrap up now. I'm tempted to start a new drawing. Let's see where we at for time. Yeah, 90 minutes in. I think it's a good time to start winding down. It's got a lot of work to do. Yeah, Shredded. I think there'll still be hangouts. So the Clubhouse streams might also shift to maybe more of a solid once a month thing that is a real funky event. Have I gone as dark as I can here? Seems that way. Not too late here, only 2:30 a.m. Yeah, no. I can only do those kind of late night. Well, I actually had a late night last night. But, those sort of late work nights when I have proper space for being able to clunk around, make some. At least not have a chair that creaks so loudly when I move. That's what makes so much noise. I was worried I'm gonna wake my poor wife just with the sound of the chair, when I roll over or sit down and I'll roll over. But come back after making some tea or something. Well, Nathan, that's the good part about having multiple people now streaming is that because I'm always moving around, I'm always shifting time zones, at least we can have people spread out in different parts who can still host streams. So it's not like when we started the Clubhouse, there were a lot of people it's during school time, Clubhouse and the classroom. During school time, it's during work, whatever, it just wasn't quite fitting in. Or for Eyebrow here in Australia, it's it's really late for me. You're such a trooper, you join so often. Dude, you gotta get some sleep. So at least having now some streamers all spread out, we can hit different times that are suitable to different folks. And it's not all dependent on when I'm available. Full of excessive amount of sugar one way or the next, Nathan. I've been trying to keep my coffee intake, like cutting it off at a certain time of the day, so it doesn't, because it takes a long time to work through your system. This man needs his sleep, his beauty sleep. I'm trying to improve the quality of my sleep a little bit. What do you mean, Nathan? Only allowed to go to Kaya Toast Cafe. I'll look it up. I see Kaya House. I see Jam and Kaya Cafe. What is... Oh yeah, Kaya. I was trying to remember what it was. Coconut, right? Something part of coconut. Alrighty. I think we're gonna wrap up here for me anyway. Yeah, it wasn't. I think I should have got a better result for the time. Anyway, it's all right. It's all right. It's just a study. There's always ideas, not perfect paintings. So I'll have to just accept what I did with the time, which is mostly just chat. Just chat and do a little bit of study. But I'm going to come back to these. I think just try and sketch out a little bit more. Shift onto a red panda, perhaps. I like this little one that's running. Cool. All right, everybody. So that's all from me for this one. Thank you very much for joining. Always fun to spend time with you guys and tackle the same subjects together. See what we come up with. Always a blast. Enjoy the rest of your day, or go sleep well, and we'll chat soon.